and circumstance of scrubbing, and I loved the history behind surgical techniques. But the people were just straight up mean in general surgery. You ever meet a general surgeon at 5 in the morning? And no offense to all your general surgery buddies from Odasis, but they are not the loveliest. So I knew that that was not for me. I can remember the first delivery I witnessed as a medical student. The attending said to me, "Get in there," like it was some type of football game. I could barely move. I remember having gum in my mouth, and by the time the baby was delivered, I couldn't believe that another human being was in the room. I kept counting. There were 6 of us, and now there's 7. There were 6 of us, and now there's 7. I had to go into the bathroom to pull myself together. And I'll never forget, my gum was gone. I had gum in my mouth when we started, and it was completely gone. I did not swallow it. It was because of the salivary juices and all of the excitement that it completely disappeared. I knew that day that that was what I wanted to do every single day. I applied for residency, and this time I got 2 interviews, okay? Everybody was talking about where they were traveling to and where they were going to, and I didn't say a word. I was like, God got me, my 2 interviews right here, okay? I matched y'all. I matched at Newark Beth Israel Medical Center and completed 4 years of rigorous training. I also barely survived, okay? And not physically, but mentally, it is tough. Prioritizing my coworkers and the clinical workload, I did not perform well on my exams, right? Recurring theme kept coming back to me. In fact, I failed step 3 twice before passing it in my 4th year of residency. So just to give you some context, you're going to get into medical school. After your 2nd year, you're gonna take step 1, right? Everyone's taking that. After your 3rd year, you're gonna take step 2. And by the time you do your 1st year of residency, you will have to take step 3. The rules now are that you'll finish it before that for end of 1st year. For some people, before the first 6 months, you must pass. So here I am, failing it, and not passing it till 4th year of residency, okay? That was a punch to the gut. While I never excelled at test taking, I also never failed a major exam. I took that opportunity to reflect and commit to prioritizing my studies, me, and my future family when it came to showing up for tests. With that in mind, I attacked my written boards with a vengeance. So for OBGYN, right, it gets a little different depending on your specialty. You take your written boards the last month of your 4th year of residency, okay? So this is a multiple choice test. I put everything into it. I talked to my mentors. I went against what everyone else was studying because I realized what everyone else would do, it didn't work for me. I enrolled in a program called America's Board Review Course. I did about 50,000 multiple choice questions and created a pretty solid plan to succeed. I studied for an entire year for that exam. The support that I received from that course was second to none, and mastering all those multiple choice questions was exactly what I needed. So when it came to my oral boards, okay, so you do 4 years of residency, you take the written boards the last month of residency, then you start working out into the world on your own as an attending, OBGYN. Usually people will take their oral boards any year thereafter. So when it came to my oral boards, I started preparing the day that I found out that I had passed my written. I studied a book called How to Pass the Oral Boards, right? Like I was like, let's keep it simple, stop complicating it. And I used it as a roadmap. I created a budget to brace myself for the money I would need during this 1.5 year long journey. I told myself, I don't care what the cost, I will invest in myself and pay for a program, a tutor, a coach to get through this exam. I told myself that I was only going to take this test once, and that I did. When I left that exam, I said, I could teach this thing. Not just to anyone But to someone who struggles with test taking, someone who needs more time than average to truly understand a concept, whose idea of repetition is insane, I could teach it to the young black and brown doctor who isn't supposed to be here. So there's only one more thing I want to tell you before I come off the stage. That story is like how I ended up where I am right now and the current space that I'm in. I need you to know something. If it hasn't already happened, someone is going to look you in the eye and, whether directly or indirectly, say to you, you are not supposed to be here, okay? I hate to be the one to tell you, it's not right, it's not fair, I don't like it, I wish it would stop. But you need to know it's gonna happen. And now that you know, I want you to prepare for it, anticipate it. Matter of fact, I want you to embrace it. If it didn't happen to you in elementary school, maybe it happened to you in middle school. If it didn't happen to you in middle school, maybe it happened to you in high school. If it didn't happen to you in college, if it didn't happen to you in high school, maybe it happened to you in college, like it happened to me. If it didn't happen to you in college, maybe it will happen to you in med school. If it doesn't happen in med school, it might happen to you when you are working on the floor in the hospital. It could be the nurse who's there. It could be the patient that you are caring for. It could be the attending who is supposed to be training you. So now that you know that someone is going to tell you that you are not supposed to be here, prove them wrong.